Hari Om and Namaste. I welcome you all back on this national webinar series on Yoga Ramayana Vishwakosha history, enumerating on history and authenticity of Ramayana. In today's lecture, Dasharatha's personality as the most deserving parent with progressive positivism who can see the ray of light amidst all sufferings will be wonderfully portrayed by Dr. Subramaniam ji.
वंदे शंभुमुमापतिं सुरगुरुं वंदे जगत्कारणं वंदे पन्नगभूषणं शशिधरं वंदे पशूनां पतिं वंदे सूर्यशशाङ्कवह्निनयनं वंदे मुकुन्दप्रियं वंदे भक्तजन आश्रयं च वरदं वंदे भक्तजन आश्रयं च वरदं वंदे शिवं शङ्करं श्रीराघवं दशरथात्मजमप्रमेयं सीतापतिं रघुकुलान्वयरत्नदीपं आजानुबाहुं अरविन्ददलायताक्षं रामं निशाचर विनाशकरं नमामि Esteemed friends, Lord God comes on earth as and when dharma is on the decline, as and when adharma is on the ascent. The purpose of an avatara murti is very clearly stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Every time there is adharma on the ascent, dharma on the descent, as and when the wicked people are on the increase, as and when good people are suffering, I come to protect the righteous people and punish the wicked people. Now, Lord God Vishnu, Sarvantaryami, omnipresent Lord, decided to come to the earth in the form of a man, because Ravana, on account of his haughtiness, did not care for man. He should not be killed by anybody according to his request to Brahma. Ram therefore chose to come as man. Only a man can kill Ravana. When he wanted to come as a simple, humble, modest man, Vishnu wanted a worthy parent, a deserving parent, a model parent, an exemplary parent, a righteous parent. And Vishnu found Dasharatha to be the most deserving parent, because Dasharatha is not only virtuous, righteous and dharmic, but he is also a person of positivism, progressive positivism. A king cannot afford to be negative. A teacher cannot afford to be negative. A parent cannot afford to be negative. A leader cannot afford to be negative. If the leader is pessimistic, all the people following him will also lose hope and enthusiasm. When the teacher goes to the class, he should create a positive approach to the subject. If the teacher is pessimistic, if the teacher is negative, students will lose the enthusiasm to learn the subject. No teacher should go to the class and say, "This topic, my dear students, is very tough, very difficult." Half the enthusiasm then dies. He should create such interest positively that the students get inspired to learn the subject. Similarly, a king should always be optimistic. He should not be a person of diffidence. He should be always a person of confidence, capable of enthusing that dynamic interest in the people. Dasharatha is like that. He is a positive person. And what is positivism? Even amidst difficulties, sufferings, sorrows, don't lose your hope. Don't lose your interest. See something promising even amidst all gloominess. Even the pitch darkness does not make an enthusiastic man dull. He will search for a ray of light, and there will be a ray of light. In a room, if there are 10 doors, if all the doors are closed, a positive person will be in a position to find some outlet. Who will survive? Who will make history? Only the men and the women of positivism. The history of a country is not made by the pessimists. A researcher is always positive. And what is it that gives you positive thinking? Mind. There is nothing like hell or heaven. Thinking makes it so. A positive person can find a heaven in the hell. A negative mind can find a hell in the heaven. It depends upon the training we have in the mind. We can be positive. Dasharatha is always positive. Therefore, Lord Vishnu has chosen Dasharatha to be his father. One episode in the life of Dasharatha to prove his positivism, progressive positivism, to prove his optimism, and amidst sufferings he is capable of seeing a ray of light. One day, King Dasharatha was in his darbar hall. He never sat in an ivory tower. He was always accessible to the needy people. The citizens of Ayodhya one day came to Dasharatha when he was seated in the darbar hall, court hall. They made an appeal in a single voice. Maharaj, the wild animals in the nearby forest have increased in large numbers. During the nights, the wild animals are entering the city. The weak creatures like the sheep, like the cattle, are being taken away, swallowed, killed by the wild animals. As and when they are more, their number is to be brought down, a hunting expedition is perhaps necessary. King Dasharatha listened to them. My dear citizens, I am for the welfare of people. I do what is needed for the well-being of the citizens. I understand your difficulty. It was a long time since I went on a hunting expedition to the forest. Perhaps the wild animals have grown to a large number. It is necessary, I think, and he immediately gave instructions to his army that they should all be ready the very next day to accompany him so that the excess number of wild animals can be brought down. All arrangements were made. At the earliest, King Dasharatha proceeded to the forest with bow arrows, with weapons, with warriors, with soldiers, to remove the excess of wildness, to remove the excess of cruelty, to mitigate, reduce the danger to society, not to ruin the forests, not to ruin all the wild animals. A little weeding is necessary. Regulation is necessary. He loves both the forest creatures and the city people. Nobody should be harmful to anybody. We may not be of use to everybody. At least we should not be harmful to anybody. That is Dasharatha's policy. The forest is full of wild animals. They are endangering the peaceful life of the citizens in Ayodhya, and therefore Dasharatha has taken upon himself the responsibility to mitigate, to reduce cruelty. There is now the hunting expedition. People, the army soldiers were asked to kill as many wild animals as possible. The entire morning session, all were engaged in killing the wild animals. The lunch time was over. They were all taking rest, and Dasharatha was also taking rest. He had the art of finding the wild animals not by searching for them, not by looking at them, by listening to their footprints. He could know which wild animal was there. Shabda Vedi. Vedi means knowledge. Shabda is sound. He had that Shabda Vedi. If a wild animal was walking at a particular distance, by the sound of the footprints he could know, yes, there a tiger is walking, a lion is walking, a wolf is walking. That was his speciality. He need not go and see. When he was resting in the afternoon, he heard the sound of a wild animal drinking water in a nearby pond. Now he wanted to test his knowledge. Without getting up, without going to the place where the wild animal was, he took his arrow, aimed it, released the shaft, and then after a few minutes proceeded to the pond to see the animal dead. He went there. He found a boy. There was no animal. That boy was a rishi boy, a boy of about 10 or 15 years. His name was Sharavanan. He had old parents, blind parents. They were unable to walk. He was carrying them on the shoulder. They were thirsty. Both the parents were kept on the shore. He went to the pond with a pot to collect water. When he was collecting the water in his pot, the pot had a narrow mouth. When the water was entering into the pot, it made a sound. The sound made by the pot while getting filled with water was similar to the sound of a wild animal drinking water. Dasharatha heard that sound. He mistook that to be the animal drinking water. Without seeing the person or the animal object, he released the shaft. The arrow penetrated into the chest of the boy and he breathed his last. Dasharatha went there, looked at the boy. I am sorry, my son. I mistook you to be a wild animal drinking water. You were only collecting water into your pot. May I know who you are? That boy narrated this story. He told, my old blind parents wanted to make a pilgrimage. As a faithful son, as a responsible son, I wanted to be of use to them. King Dasharatha, you wanted to be useful to your citizens. I wanted to be useful to my parents. You are a dharmic person. You are a righteous person. You are a truthful person. I too was inspired by your actions, by your loving nature. I was trying to be as faithful as possible, as useful as possible to my parents. I was carrying them from one pilgrim center to the other pilgrim center, and the old blind parents were very thirsty. They are there waiting for me on the shore. I brought the pot and I am trying to collect the water. Take this pot. I am dying. I cannot get up anymore, walk anymore, talk anymore. Please take this pot full of water and give it to my parents there. This is the only favor you can do to me at this hour. So saying, that boy left the body. Dasharatha took that pot of water, went to the shore. There, the old parents, father and mother of the child, were just waiting for the son. They were blind. They listened to the footprints of a person coming close. Who is it? The footprints do not speak of my son, our son. May I know who you are? What happened to my son? The boy went to the pond to collect water. The footsteps are not indicative of our son. Who are you? Then Dasharatha said, I am the king of this land. My name is Dasharatha, and I brought that pot of water for you to quench your thirst. What happened to our son? Then he narrated what had happened. The old parents were very angry that their son was dead. They were very much in sorrow because their only son, the prop of their life, was no more. Therefore, the old blind parents, out of anguish, cursed Dasharatha. You, the king of Ayodhya, you, King Dasharatha, because our son is dead, we are in grief. The bereaved parents like us cannot be peaceful. We curse you. You will also die as we die. We are now breathing our last. We are dying. And you are responsible for our death. Our son died, we are also dying. Just as we are dying, you will also die. When will you die? When your children are not by your side. That is the curse hurled at Dasharatha. If anybody was in the place of Dasharatha, he would have been unhappy. He would have lost all hope. He would have wept. Dasharatha felt, no doubt, bad for not being able to be of any use to the boy and the parents, but in the heart of hearts, he was able to see something positive. At that point of time, Dasharatha did not have children. Now the old parents cursed him, saying, you will die when your children are not by your side. We are dying when our son is not by our side. Similarly, you will also die when your children are not by your side. Dasharatha was able to see a boon in the curse, that is positivism. I am sure I am going to have children, not one child. The rishis used Bahuvachana, children. At present I don't have children. The rishis' voice cannot fail. They have said that I will die in the absence of my children. I am glad that I will be blessed with children. This is positivism. In every curse, there is a boon, there is a blessing. In every disadvantage, there is an advantage. Dasharatha Maharaj was such a positive person. He was able to see some advantage in every disadvantage. A positive person is capable of finding something favorable even in the most unfavorable situation. Dasharatha is an optimist. Therefore, God the Lord had chosen to be the son of Dasharatha. Om Mangalam Kosalendraya Mahaniya Gunatmane Chakravarti Tanujaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam Mangalam Kosalendraya Mahaniya Gunatmane Chakravarti Tanujaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam.
Thank you, Subramaniam ji, for bringing in a beautiful insight on Dasharatha's personality. We wish to see you all tomorrow at the same time. Namaste.